Hello, welcome to E2XYZ News. I'm Richard G, and here is your Business English News Update. In about 7 minutes, we'll cover two major stories: growing uncertainty in global trade and criticism of U.S. energy policy. Along the way, I'll highlight business English vocabulary and show you how to use it with real examples. Now on to our first story. This week, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development reported that global trade is facing rising uncertainty. Countries are adding new tariffs on goods like steel, electronics, and agriculture. Some trade agreements are being renegotiated, while others are breaking down completely. Political tensions, especially between the United States and China, add to the instability. For business, this makes planning extremely difficult. Companies don't know what prices they can set, which contracts will remain valid, or whether it's safe to expand hiring. Economists call this a loss of market confidence, and when investment slows, consumers often pay the price, with higher costs, fewer products, and disrupted supply chains. Now on to the vocabulary. First, we have uncertainty, not knowing what will happen, which makes planning difficult. From the story, global trade is facing rising uncertainty. And an original example, uncertainty about new taxes has slowed down property sales. The next word, tariff, a tax on imported goods. From the story, countries are adding new tariffs on goods like steel, electronics, and agriculture. A new example, the tariff on imported cars made them more expensive for local buyers. Our third word is supply chain, the system that moves products from raw materials to the customer. From the story, consumers often pay the price with higher costs, fewer products, and disrupted supply chains. A new example, our supply chain relies on suppliers in 3 different countries. Next, we have market confidence, the trust that businesses and investors have in the stability of the economy. From the story, economists call this a loss of market confidence. An original example, good communication from leaders helps build market confidence. Now on to our second story. In the US, oil executives are speaking out against what they call chaos in energy policy. Frequent policy shifts, one government focusing on fossil fuels, the next on renewables, have left companies unsure how to plan future investments. This lack of stability affects more than just the companies. Investors and partners and employees, governments and other stakeholders all depend on clear direction. Without it, energy markets experience greater volatility. Oil prices already rise and fall quickly, but policy uncertainty makes them even more unpredictable, with ripple effects on transport, food prices, and inflation worldwide. The first word is decry, to criticize something strongly and publicly. From the story, oil executives are speaking out against what they call chaos in energy policy, implied criticism or decrying. An original example, citizens decried the lack of transparency in the decision-making process. Next, we have policy shift, a major change in government direction. From the story, frequent policy shifts, one government focusing on fossil fuels, the next on renewables, have left companies unsure how to plan future investments. A new example, the policy shift toward renewable energy created new business opportunities. Next, we have volatility, unpredictable and rapid changes in markets or prices. From the story, energy markets experience greater volatility. An original example, currency volatility can make international travel more expensive. Stakeholders, people or groups affected by a decision. From the story, investors, employees, partner governments, and other stakeholders all depend on clear direction. A new example, the project was delayed because stakeholders couldn't agree on next steps. What connects these two stories is uncertainty. In global trade, shifting tariffs and fragile agreements reduce market confidence. In the United States energy sector, policy shifts add volatility that reaches far beyond oil companies. Both stories remind us that businesses, markets, and consumers all depend on clear and predictable rules. Now it's your turn. Which of these words today could you use in your own context? Try writing a sentence with uncertainty, volatility, or stakeholders in the comments. Also share, like, and subscribe if you like this video. Book a free class using the link down below. Thanks for watching. See you next time with more global news and business English vocabulary. I'm Richard G.XYZ, and you've just been enriched.